We're back. Graveyard Shift Movie Podcast, episode number 54. This week, it was Maverick's pick. He's over there, shit tied around his beard.
Oh God!
Yeah.
We didn't veto that. We
let
that
I just let it slide. This week, he picked Seoul Station from 2016, the prequel, the Train to Busan, Maverick's OG pick from the podcast. The movies only came out a month separate from each other. The name,
July and August, right?
yeah, July and August, yeah. The name, every time I say it, makes me think we're gonna. What's the? Oh, Soul Man with Bernie Mac and who was the other guy? Samuel Jackson? Was that it?
I've never seen this movie.
You've never seen Soul Man? It was like the last
maybe
movie.
Soul Train. I think Soul Train.
No, Soul. Yeah, it was like the last movie he made before he died, and they were old blues singers and shit. Anyway,
It's pretty
Soul Station.
Pretty dark.
Yeah, Soul Station. It reminds me of that, but obviously it's spelled different, but they're just pronounced the same. Second week in a row. I'm going to give this one a 4.5. Doesn't quite make a 5. Opposite of last week's, where last week I liked it at the start, and then by the end of it, I didn't like it. This week is the opposite. I didn't like it, and then the end of it is what got the extra points near the end. So,
That's a question.
okay.
I don't think this is a prequel. It seems like it runs aside.
Yeah.
When you look it up, this supposedly takes place the day before Train to Busan.
Really?
Yeah, which I don't know how all this would be happening in Seoul, and fucking they don't start in Busan because they're on their way to Busan. I don't remember where they start in Train to Busan, but I don't know how they wouldn't know about it already. So, well, we'll get into it in spoilers because there might be a way they try to avoid that or set it up. Anyway, Maverick, what are you ranking this one?
It's a solid 4.
Yeah.
I'm good with a 4. Yeah. It had its moments, but we'll get into that eventually.
Yeah. Tyler, round this out, good buddy Fred.
I'll give this movie a 2.
A 2.
Solid.
2 times 2 to make it a 4.
Well, nah, like the ending was the only good part of this movie.
Yeah.
Twist or that? Like,
Yeah, well, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
It gets 1 point for each. One for the. But anyways, spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning for Seoul Station. We're gonna ruin everything about it. So you've been warned.
Yeah, so 1 for the twist, and then 1 for the twist.
Yeah.
Right, like.
Well, first, let's save the twist for a little bit. First, can I just, and maybe y'all don't feel this way, okay? Number one thing I hated about this movie, and it kind of sucks when this is an animated movie, I didn't like the animation. They went with like a choppy... Style? Well, yeah. Not the art style I was okay with, but their movement. Yeah, they went with like a low frame, choppy move, and I was like, I didn't like it. I will say,
better, yeah.
Near, yeah, a little more than halfway through, I kind of forget that that's what it looks like. But the beginning, the first like 20 minutes, like when they're just having dialogue and they're having arguments, it was really sticking out to me, and I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah. I've seen worse, so I mean, it didn't really bother me.
I might be a freak of nature, but that girl was hot. I don't care what y'all say. Whatever you say about the art and animation, it was good enough to wear that. I thought that girl was kind of cute.
The girl in the subway who was crazy, right?
Yeah. No, the one who's looking for her mom.
Yeah,
fucking batshit.
What was that? What was that part?
I don't know. This movie had like 3 parts, 3 or 4 that had my hands sweating. Like I was nervous, but I was like, "Oh fuck!" It was good. They did it well. Like that part was pretty good. The part where she's climbing across electrical wires was good.
That was dog shit. What are you talking about? Good.
I don't know. It had my hands sweating. The suspense, man, was killing me.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if we used to play on jungle gyms and shit. all the time when we were kids.
I can hold my body weight up.
Yeah, I'm fucking heavy, dude.
You reached over and grabbed someone else's hand, and they're already hanging. There's no weight on that arm.
Yeah. Yeah, so
yeah, he was struggling. That was some bullshit. And then I was like, if all your weight's on this arm, and this arm is free,
this guy's pulling up
there's
a
no weight on
knife.
this arm. So you could just... I'm just fucking playing with it.
Okay.
But, there's no weight on this arm. So you could just reach up and grab.
I kind of... Because he helps her, and then he goes... Oh!
He got grabbed.
Yeah.
So hold on. When she got grabbed, she was hanging by the thing. Is that when she got scratched?
No. Yeah. Is that when... I thought she got scratched when she's walking across that beam at the end, and that zombie, like, hits her, and that's when she falls off.
They don't ever really show it.
As soon as it happens, they show it, like, the little marks on her leg.
Yeah.
And
because you get a scene of her hanging there, and I think it was right after dude died.
Yeah.
But you get a glimpse of, like, I saw the scratches on her leg. But I was like, did that just happen, or has that been there for a while?
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
Well, then that explains. So you jumping all the way to the end. She ends up in, like, this.
It's like a model
bedroom,
of an apartment.
A model apartment.
Yeah.
And she just gets tired all of a sudden. She takes naps, like. So I'm guessing that's because she got scratched. So.
How long do you think the time was when she fell asleep and dude was there?
No idea. Time was very irrelevant in this movie.
Yeah, it's like, because some people turned instantly, other people, like...
Yeah, there was a lot of... Well, it was... If you died and you were bit, you turned instant, pretty much. But then if you got bit and then survived, and, like, you could walk around for, like, hours on end, and then eventually turn.
Yeah.
So, but some people were getting bit and then turning because they got bit. So do you have to die to turn, or I don't know.
I don't think so.
It was confusing.
I think it's like zombie rules. You get bit, you're gonna die eventually.
Yeah, and then turn to zombie.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to the fucking cop whose arm was bleeding for like 2 hours?
Yeah, it was bleed, and like his veins started like getting black and shit looking, and who knows what would have happened, because you never find out, because the homeless guy just pushes him into the other zombie, and the other zombie fucking yanks his neck out. Now I think the guy shoots him after that. I think he pop.
That was like an expert shot though.
Yeah.
Because later the other homeless guy is like, and he's like, one shot over the shoulder, like
he does. He hits man midair, doesn't he?
Like as he's lunging for that lady.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think
I was waiting for him to just shoot himself, right?
The cop in the cell with them, right? He got just beat to death, right, by the homeless guy. He didn't get shot, I don't think.
No, he was bleeding on the arm.
Well, yeah, and then he got pushed and got bit, and then the guy jumped on him and just beat the shit out of him.
Okay.
Yeah, and what I was gonna say, so we were like, how wouldn't the people wherever they were at the start of Busan know about the shit going on? Is the cops, pretty much everyone in this movie seems to hate the homeless people hanging around. So the cop in that jail cell radios, hey, the homeless people are attacking us and killing us and stuff. And then they have scenes where I'll get to it, but they set up barricades because all these homeless people and all these civilians are trying to break out. So the only reason I can guess is that maybe from what they've gotten from the inside and what they see, they just think it's like people rioting and homeless people fucking anarchy and killing people and shit. So maybe that's why news hasn't gotten out that, hey, motherfuckers are eating motherfuckers, you know? That's the only thing I can think of for that.
I have a question.
Okay.
People are trying to climb over that bus, and they're like, we'll spray them with water. And they're like, and they fall
they
down.
were taking that shit to the face. Oh my
the main character guy climbs to the top. Well, he's not even a main character. We never know his name.
Yeah.
But the main character guy is like, fuck this. I'm climbing the top of this bus.
We get a bomb-ass speech from him, too.
Yeah, he's this city doesn't care about us. These people, Yeah.
And then he climbs up, and then immediately just shot in the heart. Boom.
Fucking boom. Yeah.
I was like, did they run out of water?
Yeah.
That was unexpected, man. I did not see that coming.
Well, as soon as he went up on the bus, I was like, okay, I think this guy's gonna. But the way they did it, and like all the sound just stops, and it has like little slow mo of him falling down. Like, I didn't get chills. That's a different thing to say, but like, it hit me in a weird way where I was like, oh. Fuck.
All emotions, Thomas. You know,
what are those? Emotions. I don't know what those.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then and like, I don't know. It was something. That's my favorite part when we do best of worst of. That's my best part of the movie is that guy getting shot. But the way they did that, I thought was really good. Shout out. What was that guy's name? Do we know?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I know the main girl's name. I can think about it because they say it though. Soo Kim? Is that it?
Shit.
I don't remember.
It's like a 2-part. It's like he's Sunukin or something. It's like HYE-SUN or something. Shanukin.
What?
Shanukin.
He's son?
Sorry,
son?
boom.
I forgot how they say it.
Up.
Jesus Christ.
Shit, oh wait, no,
That's wrong thing. Yeah, but anyway, homeless guy getting killed. Yeah, so I gotta bring it up again. The lady, they're in the subway and they're lifting up the gate to go through it, and the main woman goes through, and then she has to hold it for the homeless guy to get through. But it somehow gets stuck on him, kind of, so he's having a hard time.
His little belly. I was like, man, I feel for you, bud.
Yeah.
I know.
And then they pan over, and there's just this bigger girl just standing there looking at him, right? And then she starts like running towards him. Okay, so
wait, no, so she's just standing there, and then she just starts making like weird noises, like zombie noises, like just out of pocket, and then she starts running at him, so they're freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, and like I get, obviously, they wouldn't know this, right? They're just like, fuck, here's another one of these people. But looking at her, I was like, this is just a normal person. Like, not once did I think it was a zombie. I was just like, this is... And then the lady runs all the way up. And then she's like, you're making too much noise. But then proceeds to yell as loud as she could possibly yell. And I don't even remember half the shit she was saying. But I remember she ends where she's like, Mommy, where do you go?
She accuses them of being lovers?
Yeah, she did
being
do that.
A couple, yeah.
Yeah.
And she was sick of it. Like, she was like, just telling them off and how they should die because they're a couple, and she's like sick of love and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, where's this coming from? But in that situation, right? If you had a gun and she was running at you in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, I ain't gonna lie, I would have popped her ass. Yeah, zombie or not, she's died. She's fucking dying, dude.
Yeah. He didn't have the gun though.
No, he didn't. I'm just saying, if I was there and I had a gun, she would have caught a bullet. For sure.
I mean, no, we would have made sure.
He didn't look, I mean, she was talking.
I would have popped that ass. No mercy. She wasn't talking, though. She was making noises. She didn't say anything until she was, like, within reach of them, right? And they noticed she wasn't a zombie.
But, yeah. But anyway, and she just sort of wanders off. And she never comes back. Like,
yeah, you never see her.
Oh, I'm sure she dies, right?
For sure. I'm sure.
But that was just a really weird. It reminded me of House of a Thousand Corpses, where Rob Zombie just threw in random, like I know the devil, just random parts like that. Where I was like, what did this have to do with the movie? Then she goes on her way. But anyway, so. The lady and her boyfriend, I wasn't sure if they were boyfriends or not at first, and then I assumed they were, but then later she's like, "Oh, he's my boyfriend." They're living in a seedy part of town, not a good apartment building. They just have like a little mattress on the bed and some other shit, but they can't afford rent no more. So the boyfriend puts up an ad for her to prostitute herself out. Which, to be fair, he does just say, just get them to come in, and then when they go to shower, we'll steal their money and leave, right? That's what he says his plan is.
Yeah.
And she's like, I told you I'm not going to do this and stuff. Which, coming to
at the time, you think this is disgusting, right? You're like, this
Yeah.
guy's a loser.
Yeah, you're like, oh, fuck, you know,
Wow.
what
Just
a
prostitute his
yeah,
girlfriend
right?
out like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
But-
then it cuts to this other guy getting a phone call, and the guy's like, I think I found Sue Kim, whatever her name is. I'm just gonna call her Sue Kim the rest of the movie. And he's like, what's up? What's her name?
I'll link the cast. Hi Sun.
Hi, son. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
All right. He's like, I found.
Because the boyfriend
looking
was
it up right now.
Hee Wong, right?
Sure. Anyway, he's
Yeah,
like,
HYE Son is
Okay.
the other
Yeah.
guy.
he's like, I found
But that
Sue
doesn't
Kim,
sound like he was.
and and yeah, and I think he shows him the ad, and it's like the prostitution ad, and so the guy comes all the way to wherever they're at, finds the boyfriend, and he's like, I'm her father, you son of a bitch, you know, and so he's like, we're gonna find her, and if I don't, you know, I'm killing you and shit, right? So you're like, all right, fucking father figure coming to, you know, save the day or some shit. And he's like looking around, and he's like, oh, this is where she lived, you know? And at the time, you're like, oh, he feels bad that, you know, she's been living in these conditions and shit, right? So, movie goes on and on. They're looking for her, and they almost get near her, but then something will happen, and they'll get split up. And,
It should happen like 2 or 3
Yeah.
times.
and she has her phone, and the boyfriend has his phone, and the dad will keep going, call her. And so he'll call her and see where she are. And I remember about halfway through the movie, it was when they were standing on the bridge, and they were calling her, and they had just come up from the subway. And I remember thinking to myself, it's really weird that he's never taken the phone
Yeah,
to talk to
I
her.
had the same thought.
And
to
be
talk
like,
to
hey,
her.
you know, you would think, you'd be
Or
like, how are you
speaker,
doing?
like-
You know, right? Yeah. And so I had that thought, and then, but I never really put anything. And then you have the moment where they get to that, the fucking roadblock? Also roadblock, where the cops and shit are.
Barricade? I don't know.
But
what you
yeah,
call it.
and you get that like scuffle that the dad has with that cop and shit. And I remember thinking like the dad was acting like he was different in that scene than how he had been before, right? But you just take it as like stress and everything. I like the cop in that scene, by the way, where you know, afterwards, or the main cop, and he comes over and he's like, "Listen, man, this is beyond anything we've ever dealt with. We don't know what's going on." He's like, "Just go," you know. And I was like, because they make the cops or the bad guys, you know, and they're fucking keeping this film. But at the same time, it's like these guys got no idea what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what's going on.
They're out
you
there
know?
with shields and batons.
Yeah, fighting these fucking zombies. So anyway, get to the end of the movie, where the girl's in her model apartment thing where she's hanging out, and the boyfriend's there, and he's like, "Oh, it's good we found you." And she goes, "Where's my dad?" And he goes, "Oh, he's over here. He's fine." And the first thing I thought was, "Oh, he got killed. Like they're gonna
Yeah.
Hit or something.
Yeah.
right?
And then she goes, "Oh, that's good. He was unwell the last time I saw him." And I was like, "Okay, that's weird." And so she comes out, and then the guy like comes down the hallway, and he comes out of like the darkness, and he's like, "Oh, Sue Kim or whatever." I'm still calling her that. And and she goes, "That's not my dad." And the dude goes,
Yeah.
"What?" And she
Yeah.
goes, "That's my old pimp." So this lady used to be a prostitute.
Well, he says that early in the thing.
I
that
missed
she
it.
was,
I had
like,
no idea.
in a
Yeah.
brothel, and she used to be a whore, and she was
Yeah.
like homeless and sleeping with dudes just for a place to sleep
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah,
But-
the boyfriend, they get into an argument. Boyfriend's like, I saved you, like guilt tripping her into
Yeah.
trying to sell her body for him.
He does it to the
He's like, "I
to the
saved you."
dad when he's like, "Listen, sir, you know she wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for me." And the dad was like, "You fucking," he like picked him up.
Yeah.
But Yeah, and then the dad goes from being dad to click in an instant. He's like, "You fucking
Yeah.
bitch!" And I was like, "Oh my god!"
That shit went off. I was
Well, I
like,
mean,
holy shit.
She did borrow money and then run away.
She did,
you know?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and then the
he,
part with the dad was the worst part though.
oh
When
yeah,
he was like,
yeah, when he did, yeah, we'll get, and so flips the switch immediately, and this guy's acting completely. He's like unhinged. He's yelling. He's calling her cunt. Like, oh, the worst thing. And so then, the boyfriend steps up, and he I think just hits the boyfriend once, but then he hits the girlfriend. So the boyfriend jumps back up again, gets beat the fuck up, and the boyfriend this whole movie has been portrayed as this weak, wimpy, nerdy, scummy boyfriend dude. And so he's laying on the ground, and the pimp dude's beating up the girl, and he's choking her. And then the boyfriend looks over and sees the knives or whatever. And I was like, oh, fuck, here's his moment. He's going to get up and stab the dude and shit. And he gets up and he grabs the knife, and then he goes, and the dad just turns around and catches it. And I was like, okay, something's going to happen here, right? And then, no, he fucking just cut the boyfriend's neck. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And that
insane.
Boyfriend just fucking falls over. The girl goes running. Boyfriend, the last thing he does alive is grab the dude's ankle to slow him down a little bit. Yeah. And and the boyfriend's just dead. And then you get the guy chasing around the girl a little bit, and she hides in a closet. And this is when you get 5 minutes of the pimp talking about, "You're sick, dad. I told him that he owed me the money you took, and he's told me to give him a week, and then I came back and he was gone. He had packed up and left. That's your coward father,
That's the home you're rushing. That's the place you're rushing home to.
Yeah. And then he opens up the closet where he's been talking to the whole time, where you assume she is, but she's not. And then she comes out of the next closet and she does what I hate, which is when you have someone's back, just fucking go for it. But she has to die, and she yells, and he turns around and catches her and just fucking knocks her out again and tosses her on the bed. And then he's about to rape her. And then as he's crawling up her body, she just sort of tilts her head back and she stops breathing. And then the fucking guy, he's like, "Oh, baby, I was just kidding. You can't die." And he's real concerned. And he was like, "You have to pay me back, bitch, before you die."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh,
starts
shit."
giving her CPR.
Yeah.
Because her fucking heart stopped.
And and that's when you look down and you see that she's been scratched by one of these zombies. And then you hear "Arr." And I didn't like the when he pans back up and she's sitting there going,
yeah, the teeth clicking is a weird thing.
Yeah. It's
thing.
World War Z. Those zombies did it all the time.
Yeah.
They click their teeth. I'm not a big fan of that. But and she jumps on him and kills him. And the movie pans out, and literally everybody in the movie we have been introduced to, besides maybe that crazy girl, we don't know what happened to her, is dead. And it was playing this kind of sad, kind of music. And I told you I was digging it. I let it play out till it was over in the credits. But and that's how, and it got over, and I was like, "Fuck me!" It's Jesus Christ.
It was solid, man.
It was a good ending. I like the ending.
I was watching it halfway through, and the first gun you see is in the police station, I believe.
I think so.
And I did not expect that, because my mind goes from animations, from Japan. I always think it's from Japan, and Japanese cops don't have guns.
Yeah.
So he whipped out a fucking pea shooter, and
You were like, "Whoa!"
I was like, "Whoa, shit! Where did he?"
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Okay, it's fucking South Korea." I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
And,
But then with that ending, you go back and the parts where he's like, "Oh, so this is where she was living." Suddenly that goes from "Oh man, she's been living in this dirty" to "This is where the bitch has been the whole time," And you start picking up on the little shits he was doing the whole movie. But I thought it was really good. I liked the ending. Which also that part where the homeless guy gets shot off the bus reminds me, spoiler, Train to Busan, how we wanted Train to Busan to end, with the little girl and the woman walking through the tunnel, and they're like aiming at her, and we were like, they should have fucking shot her, but they didn't do it. But this movie, yeah, everyone dies. So
I was hoping to get a scene of like the army just laying into a crowd of zombies or people. Who knows?
They do. At the end, they show the zombies overtaking the barricade.
yeah,
And the army's just popping off.
Did they? What the fuck? Where was I?
that's when it gets done and it shows like the dead bodies, and then it just sort of pans throughout the city. You see that?
Oh, I missed that. Then that was at the very, very end, though, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
It just wasn't. I hate zombie movies where like the zombies aren't the focus.
It did turn into a
This is a domestic dispute.
Yeah,
this isn't like a zombie movie.
Yeah.
So.
Like the zombies, they build it up. It might have only been like 20 minutes, but it felt like they were building it a lot. Where you get sort of a fake out of you get this guy who has a real weird scene at the beginning where he comes and takes a pile of fucking dirt and like cigarettes, yeah, and he's like, "This is a grenade," and he's talking to who you assume is like a politician dude. And he's like,
I think he was just like the boss or something of that building.
Yeah,
maybe.
He just looked like he looked like a manager, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like some.
He looked like a male guy. He didn't look important at all. But
Yeah.
and he was like, and he was like, "You fucking scum," and he was yelling, and everyone was like, "What are you doing?" They were like, "Put that shit down." And so he was like,
The janitor comes over. Stop making a scene. Go away.
Yeah, he kept hitting him with the broom.
Yeah.
And and the guy goes away, and then he goes to see the guy who had kicked off the movie. Is this older dude who's walking and is bleeding from his neck, and you get
Wasn't in Train to Busan, wasn't there a homeless guy that got bit got on a train?
I kept waiting. He was never bit because I think he lives for a long time. I think he lives that whole movie maybe. But I kept waiting for one of these homeless guys to be. I thought that was how the movie was going to end. Was one of the homeless guys was going to end up running onto the train, and then that would be how they tie it together. You know.
That'd be a lot better than what they did.
That would be but they never. Yeah, that homeless guy isn't in it. But yeah, the guy's walking and like his neck's bleeding. He's like, he's taking these real shallow breaths. And these two guys are like, "Oh, we should help that guy." And then they go run over, and they're like, "Oh, that stench." And then he comes back and he's like, just homeless. And I was like, "Fuck me." I was like, this guy's bleeding out his neck, and these guys are like, it's just a homeless guy. And then
I felt so bad for his, I'm assuming, brother, because
that's the thing is I didn't think that guy was really his brother. I thought he was just calling that to. But then, spoiler, when the fucking guy dies from his bleeding neck, he's like legitimately crying. He's like, "Look what you've done to my brother." And I was like, either this guy's just really bought into it, or this really was his brother. So
there was something wrong with him, right? He wasn't all there. I think.
I text Tom because I didn't know if we could bring this up, and he told me probably
he
not,
might have had a mental handicap,
like mentally,
like schizophrenic.
Whoever animated him definitely did him dirty though.
He looked like no one in the thing.
Yeah, his teeth were like on his bottom lip, his top teeth.
Yeah,
but I think they did that to show that he was special.
They might have, but yeah, I felt bad. Everyone was just kicking him around the whole movie. Well,
and I felt bad when he went to the hospital and he was going to get help for his brother.
Uh-huh.
But then the other guys were like, "Well, if he comes in, they're going to kick me out. So fuck this guy." And they start beating on him. I'm like, "Oh, I don't know.
That was the hospital. That was the homeless shelter, right?
It was like a hospital for people who didn't have money, right? I think I'm pretty sure.
No, I thought it was just like a homeless shelter, like halfway home. He's like, "I'm gonna have to wake up on the dew now. Get out of here."
Well, the lady was a nurse, so I was thinking maybe it was like a part of the hospital where they help people with no money.
I'm not sure, but yeah, and then the guy dies, and he goes to the police, and he's like, "My brother's dead because of you," and they're like, "I guess we should go check it out." And then they go, and the guy's not there. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah, just a little blood stain
Just
of where
a little
he was.
blood stain, yeah. And they were like, you fuckers always, making up stories. And
Why don't you skipped over the one of my favorite scenes is when you see him running down the street going to the pharmacy.
We can't call
He's,
that
like,
running.
sweating.
Come on, guys.
He was light jogging. This dude was heavy set. He was
But
not.
It's like a shuffle. He's like,
he was doing that a lot.
I don't know. That was a good scene though, and he was like, he didn't have a lot of money, so he's like, I just not the full pack of pills, like he wanted pain pills, just like a couple of the pills and like a Red Bull, and I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, well, at first, he was gonna buy the pills, and then I think he like let his selfish side come out. Yeah, and he just wanted a drink, so he was like, "Oh, can I just get half the pills so I can get this drink?" Which you do, he like pours it in this little cup, but he had already drunk that. Yeah, so he just got thirsty and fucking wanted something to drink. But and so the guy goes looking around for his brother, and then he looks down the alley, and he's like, "Oh, bro, what are you doing down here?" And then the guy, and he's like eating on somebody, and he looks up. I will say I like how he looks when he turns around. I like that, but then when he charges at him, I didn't think it looked very good. And and that guy was dead like 25 minutes in, and it faked me out. I thought he was going to be like the main character of the movie. Well, if not the main character, like part of it, But I really liked how they revealed to the characters kind of how the zombies work, which is when they get to the police station and they're like, you gotta help us, these fucking people are going crazy, and at first cops are like, get the fuck out of here, and then people bust in. One cop immediately gets fucking dead, and so they lock themselves in the jail cell, and then later the cop who was dead comes back to life, and that's how they're like, wait a minute, he was dead, and these things killed him, but now he's back, and now he's angry. And I thought that was a cool way to like show them, kind of
explain it to the
kind of how they
themselves.
work. Yeah.
Which can we? So I always think about our like jail cells where you close it and then you have to hit a button on like the other side of the fucking thing to open it. But no, these fucks can open the jail cell. They just reach through the bar and it's a little latch, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
They didn't put a lock on it.
Yeah.
Like, you do that and then you put a lock on, but
I don't know. It's some weird holding cell.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's wild.
I mean, I think you're talking about movies and not like real jail cells, man.
Are
Like
you
real
telling
jail
me
cells, it's a lock.
that
Yeah,
Seoul
it's-
Station isn't a direct
100% accurate.
Yeah.
Fuck
Because-
this.
Also, man, that fucking cop was just switched in an instant where he was like, you homeless fucks, and he was like pointing at them, and then the lady was like, oh, help me, and he was like, and he looks down and she has dirt on her feet because she took her heels off to run, and he was like, you bitch.
He was ready to shoot them.
He
and
was
I was like,
ready.
holy shit.
I thought he was trained in America. And and he fucking flipped. he flipped on them immediately.
Wait.
Yeah. By the way, there's a part where when the dad and the boyfriend are going to their apartment, they pass the neighboring apartment and they hear like, "Miss, what are you doing?" And they're in the apartment for a little while, and then the dad like goes back out in the hallway, and the fucking door busts down, and the guy in the neighboring apartment like is like, "Help me!" And then this lady jumps on, and a zombie, and she kills him. And the dad was like, "Whoa!" He went running.
Yeah, that's the first zombie
Yeah.
that they see.
And closed the door, and he was like, "Don't go out there." And then the boyfriend opened it for some reason, right? So the zombie gets in. Immediately, they start freaking out. The dad goes and gets a toilet lid to kill her. It's like they just didn't put sound. Like he hits her, and it's just silent.
Yeah.
And then when he's hitting
it
her,
does like a weird ping, but it's not like the ping you would expect.
yeah, when he's hitting her, it's going pop, 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 like a little pop noises, which, like, maybe that's realistic. Maybe if you hit someone like that with a
welcome to Factor Cap.
Yeah.
Where he says, I'm gonna hit Thomas in the back of the head with a fucking toilet lid.
Maybe that's how it sounds, okay? But it's a fucking movie. Put some sound in it, you know?
Yeah.
Same thing happened.
Thwack.
Yeah, same thing happened with when the boyfriend gets cornered in the alley and the zombie starts running at him and the dad comes and hits him with a car. So like there's no sound to him hitting him with the car. Like these things.
Did y'all know that was coming? Like,
yeah,
because they held the whole plan. Yeah. And then you see the one zombie, and I'm like, okay, this is when he runs them over, right? And then of course the car comes, hits them, and I'm like, I called it.
They kind of do it again, where at the hospital the zombie comes to get the boyfriend who's in the car, which there had been a part before where the dad had the car door open and the fucking zombie yeeted through the through the window.
The window,
and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, and so there's a hole in the window. And so the zombie comes crawling through, but he gets his arm stuck in the seatbelt, so he can't move. And so he's like looking at it, and then the zombie fucking figures out. He's like, "Oh shit!" And he takes his arm out, and then he lunges at him again, and the dad hits him with like a pole and kills him. The dad fucking keeps hitting that dude, and the boyfriend's like, "Yeah, yeah." He's like hyping him up. And, but yeah, they did it again. Like, the same thing. The same character getting saved. The same guy saving them.
I have a question for y'all.
Go ahead.
Did you think that Dad/Pimp was big enough to be doing half of the stuff he was doing? I was like, this dude isn't like,
No. They tried to make him like, that buff dude from Train to Busan.
Yeah.
But, like, the animation of it didn't come across. So, like, he just looked like a normal dude.
He was bulky.
Well, bulky, but the character he's with the whole time is the scrawny, dweeb character. So it's like, if you're going to make this bulky character, put him next to someone who's got a little bulk to themselves, so then you can really see how yoked this dude is.
There's a guy in the jail cell, the random guy who does nothing but laugh or whatever.
Yeah, that guy was like, we're all going to die.
Yeah, that guy, I'm like, okay, this dude's going to save the day. He didn't.
No.
He died so quick. He was like, oh, this hurts. And then falls over dead. And I was like, oh, shit.
That dude was like, if the dad was that guy's size, then I'd be all about it. But it just seemed like he was a normal guy, and I was like, oh, all right. So
there's also, they get to the fucking roof, and the dad is like, all right, I need you to jump across this way, and he devises his whole plan. And the dude's like, he's freaking out. And he's like, I can't do it, I'll die. And the dad's like, if you don't do it, we'll both die, And so the guy's like, okay. And he goes over there, and then it shows the jump, and it's like this fucking big. And I was like, why were you freaking out so much, dude? He made it. He almost fucking fucked up on the second one, though. Somehow, he's like hanging on. And the dad's over here like, oh, good. And I was like, he is not safe. Like, he's still, like, falling.
Oh, dude, that's the first part that I thought that something was up with the dad.
Yeah.
Because he was like, fuck you, you little wimp, go. And I was like, whoa. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So, because he was straight up trying to sacrifice that guy just to get to his car, right?
Yeah.
So
he came back for him.
He did. I also, when the lady gets knocked off when she's going across that platform with all the zombies jumping at her, I swear, like, she falls down into the
greenhouse?
Yeah, into the greenhouse. Into the, like, balcony of wherever this fucking apartment thing is. But I could have sworn zombies had fallen exactly where she had fallen. So then when she was laying there, I was like, bitch, get up. I was like, there should be zombies all around you. But then there wasn't. So. Let's do best of, worst of. Even though I've already said what my best of was. It's that homeless dude getting shot off the bus. Thought it was really well done. I liked it. Worst part, even though it's supposed to be a serious scene and, like, emotional, is when these two motherfuckers are just in the subway crying their eyes out
That was pretty bad. That's probably my worst.
and they're both just ah!
Yeah.
And I was like, shut up.
Man.
Yeah, and the homeless guy's like, I want to go home, but I don't have a home.
Fucking homeless. It's like, Jesus.
And yeah, I didn't like that part. If you're homeless, just buy a home.
그때 나는 집이 없어.
Anyway, Maverick, best of, worst of.
Best of. Maybe the twist at the end.
Yeah.
I like I said, I like the suspense parts too. So, honestly, I thought it was kind of funny that like when she follows Homeboy across the rope, the electrical line, and then he's like, he couldn't decide if he wanted to go save her or not or help her. He eventually does, and then ends up dying.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Let me tell you, I kept thinking back to the dad from Train to Busan where he's like, listen, fucking protect yourself. It's like, and I was like, your point just keeps being proven over and over.
But worst of, I was thinking maybe like that bus, because you've seen like those videos where like someone's trapped underneath a car in a car accident, and then like 6 passerbys just lift the car up. I'm like, there was one bus and there was hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And like, well, you kept seeing like one person climb over it, one person climb under it at a time, right? And then get blasted by water, and then finally Homeboy gets shot. But I'm like, if they were really like, even you see the zombies coming from the other side, go over underneath, and I'm talking like hundreds of people, they can't stop you. And like, you could honestly flip the bus too, like hundreds of people easily.
I think they might have shown that on the other side they had shit like holding
it
the
up.
bus.
No,
yeah.
it was just a bus sitting there. And I was like, they even had the bus door, and I was like, if it's locked, I mean,
Just go in the
door.
bus.
You could just go in the bus. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That shit was weird, but
Yeah, Tyler.
that's it for me.
I don't know. I think it's easy to say y'all should have just moved the bus, but it's like, do you want to be the first guy?
Bus.
You go up trying to flip the bus, they're just gonna shoot you.
Well, no, they didn't know the army got there. All they saw was the people with the fucking batons and the shields and the water cannon, right? But then Homeboy goes to climb over, and now there's a whole fucking militia there with fucking long guns. And then
You remember the start of like COVID, where like no one really knew what the fuck was going on. Everyone was like being like just kind of like, what do we do?
And the toilet paper just vanished.
Yeah,
that
but
was,
like
that was real shit.
you got to think about that mind frame. Like this just happened,
Yeah.
right? So it's like
That's-
people aren't like, yo, let's get out of town. We need to start flipping buses. It's gonna be like, what are we doing? They were like finally had safety too, so they were like,
I don't know. They were seeing zombies and shit. Like, you're gonna freak the fuck out.
Well, they were seeing something. I mean, they didn't know.
yeah,
Yeah, they didn't know.
they
what-
thought they were homeless people.
That's why. Yeah, that's why I
What?
said it was just a little piece of dialogue. But I liked it when the cop was like, "Listen, man, we don't know what the fuck's going on." He was like, "This is something different."
Okay, so worst part of this movie is how it doesn't really link up with Busan at all.
It is. Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Think about it, Busan. They do this thing where if you cover a zombie's eyes or they can't see, it's
They
safe.
they do it one time in that movie and they never mention it
I
again.
totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
And like this, they go behind a door and they close the door and the zombie's like banging on it. And I'm like, okay, well they know he's there, you know.
Yeah. Weirdly,
Yeah.
we didn't watch it, but I don't think Peninsula has anything in common with. But somehow that's the sequel to Train to Busan. It's like they just like using Train to Busan,
name.
yeah, to like advertise.
And like the zombies were just dumb because they would be like walking, and then like someone would be like see them, and it's like, okay, you see a zombie, that you're okay, don't worry. And they're like, ah!
Yeah.
And then the zombies all turn and they run at him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you gotta stop
That's-
like yelling.
The boyfriend
Yeah,
at the
oh.
hospital in the car, he sees a zombie. And he goes, "Ah!" The zombie hears him.
If y'all
It
see something
does.
scary, okay, I understand it's something startling, right? Like if you're walking out of a door and some,
Yeah.
you know,
Jump
like
scares
Thomas's
you.
dad's there and he's like, you know, yeah, it gets you. Okay, but this is completely different,
Yeah.
right? Like you see a guy across the parking lot, you just lock your doors, right? You try not to be seen or
Yeah.
whatever.
When I told y'all that story of the guy who lives across the street from me who was super drunk and was out fucking like 12 o'clock at night when it had been snowing, and he like was shambling and shit, and he
Thought
just
he
started
died,
walking up.
right?
Yeah, and I was like, oh fuck. I was like, it's a zombie. The first thing I didn't do was look out my window and then go, ah, like started banging. I did one of these where I was like, like,
Look at this motherfucker.
So it wasn't Home Alone Part 3 or whatever?
It
You,
was,
like, start setting up traps. and
no, no, no.
So-
But
Putting
anyway.
marbles on the floor. It'll
Yeah.
rip.
Yeah.
But and the best part, I mean, the twist is really good. I don't know. Like, that's the problem I have with this movie is that there's really nothing of substance here. Like the fact that we talked this long about it is kind of strange,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Because,
there's
the-
nothing crazy.
Train to Busan had a lot of like heartfelt. What would you do?
Train to
Like
Busan,
emotional,
still
emotional
the
parts.
closest movie I've come to crying.
And this doesn't have those, right? Like you're never at a point to where you're like, oh, what would I do?
Closest you come is that homeless guy getting shot. But even though but those characters really don't have any real emotional attachment, you know. So even though they make like this sad where she goes over and he's like, I guess I'm heading home or whatever the fuck he said, I don't remember.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm finally going home or something.
yeah, and like. Yeah, and like, but they just met each other like 2 hours ago, so there's no real emotional attachment there.
Don't care about anyone in this movie except for the girl, maybe.
Yeah, I only cared about the girl. I was
Yeah.
like, at first it was like I wanted like the reunion, but then I was like, man, I hope she just lives. Like, just live.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I said, this movie, Train to Busan was good.
Really
This
good.
one was just, and you have to ask yourself: is it the fact that it's animated versus real people? Like, if do you think if it was a real movie with real people that you'd be more interested or like, I don't know, invested in the characters? Because I watch a lot of anime, and there's a lot of them that I'd be bawling my eyes out and shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
This was like no, I was like okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like but I don't know.
that's true.
The
weird,
zombies look cool, but I think they could have looked 10 times cooler since it's animated. You literally
yeah,
have
like you
the
have,
freedom to do whatever you want, you know?
Yeah.
Like
There wasn't
no
a lot
budget.
of gore either for a zombie movie.
especially I was going because animated. I was like, fuck, they could do whatever the fuck they wanted. They don't have to worry about visual effects or CGI. It's animated, so you could.
Yeah.
But yeah, there wasn't really. Once again, like I don't know the
CGI is
rating.
animation.
Whatever. I don't know the name of this movie. I know the name of this movie. I don't know the rating, but it seemed like a PG-13 movie. Besides when the dad started talking about you fucking cunt, I was like, whoa, this is coming out of nowhere.
You would think there'd be some nudity and stuff in it if it wasn't, right?
You get some panties. Some
Yeah, you got a couple
animated
panty shots.
panties, but
Well, at the very beginning of the movie, there's the random homeless girl who's like trying to, fuck dudes for $3.
yeah.
Oh yeah, she's like, I just washed. You got $3? We can bang. And I was like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
dude.
Matt was like, "But what?"
He
Like,
was doing the card on the table.
Yeah, fucking sweet. Take
Yeah.
that shit.
But the budget of this movie, I don't see a box office. I don't know if it came out in theaters. It might have just been a
Man,
yeah. But the budget is $575,000. So it's
it's
not
like an independent studio and everything, right?
yeah,
Like,
it's not the most like I've seen on animated because animated movies can get really expensive, but it's not a bad budget. So like
Hey, like I said, I think the art was great. I really dug it. I
Uh-huh.
thought the voices and everything was spot on. Everything was good. It just didn't have the story. It looked like they tried to make something up. And,
yeah, I like the voice acting. The only part that, like I said, when they were crying in the subway, that was the only part. I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" It's like,
Yeah, but how often are you like that in real life?
What do you mean?
Like, say you're at the store and there's
Uh-huh.
like a kid crying because he can't have
Yeah.
fucking whatever.
Yeah, it happened
You're the
today.
same way. Yeah, and you're like, God, yeah, it's candy. Fuck off. It's, shut up or whatever.
Uh huh.
But like in real life, like crying's not an enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like you never want to be like, good for you, Like, but I don't know. I think this is probably one of the worst movies we watched.
I
It
wouldn't go that far.
It's on Amazon, so I was looking for a rating. It's 13 plus. But it
Yeah, I
has
saw it. It was
4
13 plus.
That's
For-
PG-13, right?
I have no idea. I think so.
I would guess so.
It's
Yeah.
for ages 13 and over.
Um,
Must be
But it
accompanied
has-
by an adult.
4 out of 5 stars. Almost 500
It
reviews.
has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know why? Because no one's watched it. 500 stars. Like 500 reviews is almost nothing, right? Like
Yeah.
we have videos that have more than 500 views. And we're 3 dudes with a budget of like $14 and some like recyclable aluminum cans.
Hell
like
yeah.
I'm just saying, like I don't think this movie is mainstream at all.
No, it
right?
definitely
yeah.
isn't. Train to Busan.
No,
was-
yeah.
I could argue that wasn't mainstream either. Did it even come out in theaters here?
It broke in here. I don't know. I know it broke records in South
It's
Korea.
supposed to be the number 1 zombie.
What was
Korean
the
movie.
first of something like that in like Korean zombie flicks,
Yeah.
right?
It was the first Korean zombie movie, I think. Pretty sure that was a thing. But yeah, like I don't know how many people like I think Peninsula is more known than Seoul Station. And that's mostly
Yeah.
because I think the
Fucking
movie is literally
Peninsula
called
sucked.
I had never watched it. The movie is
Hey,
literally called
I'm
Train
not-
to Busan Presents Peninsula, you know?
I'm stating it now. We're gonna watch this for an overtime.
Peninsula?
Yeah.
Oh no! I watched the first half because I like Train to Busan
He didn't
so
get
much.
to the end.
Maybe it was like the first quarter, to be honest with you. And it
That's
was
fine. I mean, we've done 2.
bad.
We might as well finish it.
I
Right?
guess,
yeah,
yeah.
finish it off.
And we'll do it as an
But-
overtime because I've heard really
Oh.
bad things.
Jeez.
I was gonna say that I think the consensus is that the 2 other movies besides Train to Busan weren't very good. But now after hearing that, I guess people like Seoul Station, but everything I've heard about Peninsula is garbage. So I don't know.
I think that if you found someone who hadn't seen Train to Busan
Uh-huh.
and you showed them in the order like Seoul Station, Train to Busan, and The Last Peninsula,
Yeah.
no one would like the first one. Everyone would love the second one, and I don't know about the third one because I haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
I've heard horrible shit.
I've heard
but
horrible things.
I'm not going to go on record as saying that they'd hate that one too.
Yeah.
I think the people who like Seoul Station are just spillover fans from Train to Busan who are like equating it with it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like the Matrix movies, and then you watch that animated thing that came out.
I never watched it.
I don't know, but it's an animated like random anime based in the Matrix world, whatever. And
Oh.
people are all about it, and it's not that great.
Yeah.
So it's just the love for the franchise.
You know
more
what
than-
is great though? The Matrix 2, which is the superior movie in the Matrix
I
trilogy.
really like Matrix 2. No one else does.
It's really
you know?
good. It's my favorite one.
I like the first one too. I'm not a big fan of 3.
I like 1 and 2. 3, suck a cock. Get out of here. 3.
Jesus, let's not go that far. There's a 4th one coming out soon.
3
Didn't we
has
watch all of them together, Tom?
Yeah, we were in trouble.
I don't remember a single fucking one.
3 has like a 6-minute long orgy dance scene where they're just partying.
Yeah, they have like a rave in the center of the earth.
Yeah.
I like that part. What's wrong with that?
Ooh. So
We watched those in high school, right, Tom?
yeah, we had to do C time because we skipped too much class.
How old? We were what, 18?
Maybe 17.
So that was
Well,
5 or 6
maybe
years
16.
ago, Tom.
Mav has a year on you, so
No, I have a couple months on him. No, actually, no, I do have
You
almost
have
a full year on
You
you.
do have a full year on me.
Holy shit.
yeah.
But yeah, I was 17. That was 6 years ago.
Yeah,
getting
we
fucking old.
were watching movies, and then Maverick brought this one random one that was about this like Thai fist fighting ring, and then
Did we watch that?
you left, halfway through. And so then I was stuck watching the movie, and then this guy started ripping out people's kidneys and shit. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And, yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
I think I had to work that day. That's what I left.
Maybe.
Fuck.
But we'll have to watch.
Say the name of the place I work. But
Well, it doesn't exist anymore, so.
it doesn't exist anymore.
But yeah, we'll watch his third movie just to see.
All right.
As an overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one should have to waste their pick on that. But I don't know. This movie, I felt like I was watching a TV show. That was way too long.
I think it was only an hour 39 or something. I felt like I was watching it for a while. Like, to be fair, I did watch it on Prime, but it has IMDb commercials or whatever. So every 20 minutes or so, they would add 70 seconds of commercials.
How many times do you have to watch that cunt eat ice cream? Did you get that commercial over and over and over again?
I might have. I don't remember.
Okay, so if you watch a movie on Amazon with IMDb, whatever, like they shows commercials and it's like a block of like 3 minutes of commercials, right?
Yeah.
Mine started with that lady eating ice cream and ended with it, with her eating ice cream.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm so tired, and like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't say what I think about her because I don't want to, get in trouble.
Yeah.
Fuck that lady and her ice cream.
Shit.
Anyways, no comment.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I didn't have ads. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about.
So I'll mention this because we haven't mentioned it before. Another part I didn't like was when they get in the ambulance and then they're driving and the homeless guy's like, no, we're not. And he like grabs it and they're like, get off, you're going to make us crash. And they crash this ambulance. Once again, there's a little bit of sound when they're skidding, but it should have just been more. And then they like get out, and then the ambulance guy's like, "You dick."
The worst part,
The slow mo did not do the movie any justice. Slow mo is terrible.
It literally flips over. And you see these people in slow mo for like 3 minutes,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Why was it so long?" Like it could have just.
They're flying through the air. You see the dude who drives the ambulance in the back, like somersaulting, and it's like, "Oh fuck, man."
I'm just looking to see if we missed anything. Doesn't look like it though.
Yeah, but I don't know why the ambulance guy just didn't stop.
Hey.
Hey, even if he stopped because he wanted to get the homeless guy off of grabbing his steering wheel, right? Hey, let me out. Okay, get the fuck out. I mean, I understand.
Yeah, it wasn't. They
he could
weren't
be in
dying
shock or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the fact that they escaped a police office station,
Seoul Station.
prison, but that's the train station.
The train station.
I swear to God, he says this is Seoul Station.
Well, the Seoul Station train station.
No, when they're in the
anyways.
jail cell. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So they escape out the back, and they have this place like literally cordoned off, right? And then some random ambulance guy's like, "Hey, did you come out of there?
Yeah.
Come on!" And they just leave, and I'm like, "Wouldn't you be like, hey, cops? There's
You can
people right
literally,
here."
they come out, ambulance is here. You literally see the cops going in, fighting the zombies there. And the guy's like, hey. He's like, come on over here.
They're not hurt.
Catch
they're
a
not,
rat.
covered in blood or anything.
Yeah.
He's like, we'll take you to the hospital. And they're like,
Get your
why?
rat. Yeah. Anyway. All right. That's the end of Seoul Station. Next week, it's my pick.
Oh,
Jesus.
no.
And we're watching a movie that I literally have no idea what it's about. It's from 2009. It's starring the one and only Willem Dafoe. It's a movie.
Damn it.
It's a movie called Antichrist. So
Another fucking William Dafoe movie.
Willem, motherfucker.
Willem Dafoe.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh shit! Tom's dropping bars.
but
Yeah, your face looked like a foot.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, don't know anything about it. Saw a poster. I was like, all right, we're watching this.
Jesus.
So
It's horrible.
Look
I've seen
forward.
it. It's really bad.
no, you've never seen it. It's brand new.
It's not new at
It's
all.
brand new.
Came out 20 years ago.
Nope. It's brand new. And I'm sure we'll all love it.
Man, I'm looking up the cast. Underneath the actors'
There's
name is,
four-
like, who they
There's
who
four
they played.
people.
and the names of the people in the movie is she,
And he
and
Nick.
Nick. I'm like, what the fuck? I guess that's gonna make sense if we watch it.
I'm just gonna read the first line of the description they gave me, because it just caught is while a married couple, Willem Dafoe and Charlotte Gainsbourg, is having sex, their infant son in a nearby room falls out a window to his death.
Holy shit!
So, anyway, look forward to Antichrist. Oh, it's not rated. God damn, this shit's gonna
Came out in 2009.
2009, yeah. So anyway, look forward.
Charlotte Gainsborough.
I don't know.
Gainsbourg.
I thought it was gonna say
Apparently,
Charlize Theron, and I was gonna be like, oh shit.
I know we usually save this for the cast, but apparently the guy who wrote it was in a serious depressive state and may have killed himself when he had done writing this.
God damn! So this is his last.
So, yeah, like, and he wrote it while he was in his like episode or whatever.
The fuck?
So this is gonna be some depressing shit.
It's gonna be depressing. From my quick little Google searches, I could find nothing that confirms what Tyler just said. He is still alive, by the way, but I'll do more research, and then for the real episode, I'll tell you whether or not this is true. All right. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm about to joke on him so hard.
Whoa, no,
Yeah, right.
no, man. This is.
I don't know if he died. He tried to kill himself.
Oh,
I don't know if he's dead or not.
Yeah,
I don't want to say he's dead and then
Yeah.
he's not.
But that's like
He's
your
popped
thing.
Back up.
Everyone we mentioned, you're like,
I'm
he's
always
dead.
correct. I'm always correct with who's dead,
Oh,
who's
yeah.
alive. Yep.
Anyway, all right.
What about Biz Marquis, man? The guy's still alive, right?
Yeah, he came back.
But they said he's in very bad condition.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway. All right. Thanks for listening. The Seoul Station Peninsula Overtime, I guess, will be coming soon.
Who's win?
We'll find out. Next
We'll put it out before this.
just to fuck with people, yeah.
Yeah. Just gotcha.
Yeah. Next week, Antichrist, starring Willem Dafoe.
The toe.
Willem Dafoe, I'm sorry, yes. And anyway, Maverick, like to add anything before we leave?
Nah, man.
All right.
I got nothing.
All right. Well, that's the end.
Need like a Looney Tunes outro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ebony. That's all, folks. That's how it's
No, you should be like, yeah, see.
Yeah.
That's just it, yeah. So.
All right.